And welcome back to the show. Here to discuss the state of Social Security and Medicare from Sterling Financial Advisors, we welcome Dan Ohlweiler.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Dan. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
It's good to be here. How were your holidays?
Oh my goodness, wonderful.
Yeah?
It's really hard to believe that we are approaching the month of February already.
It's crazy. The older we get, when we're teenagers, time can't go fast enough.
Exactly.
When we get older, it goes too fast.
I totally agree.
And so it's as we get older, it goes way too fast.
Well, this January in particular, we've had a lot of events that I think have sped up that clock seemingly a little bit more.
Yep.
So we've got quite a bit to talk about in terms of Social Security, Medicare, trust funds projected
with
to
with
run
the election
out.
coming down, a lot of people wonder what's happening. Projections, if they don't do anything to fix Medicare or Social Security, they're going to run out of funds, and they project in 2035.
In about 10 years.
Yeah.
So how critical is it for Congress to act now?
Well, obviously it's critical. I don't think that, in my personal opinion, I could be completely wrong, but my personal opinion is that they're going to do something. They're not going to let Social Security go bankrupt, obviously. But there's nobody wants to cut Social Security. There wasn't anything said in the elections. It was more about inflation and immigration and taxes, but they didn't talk much about what they want to do to fix Social Security. And there's a few things that they can do, but obviously some are more impactful than others. One of the things that they can do is raise the taxes that each of us pay on Social Security. So right now, you have probably, I think it's $176,000 that we pay taxes on Social Security. Once we get over $176,000, none of that is taxed. So they could raise the limit on the amount that we pay in taxes on Social Security. They could also raise the amount that we pay. Right now, between an employer and an employee, there's about 12.25% that goes into the Social Security system. That could be raised. So you could raise the amount that we pay on and raise maybe the taxes we pay, maybe go from 12% to 15%. Okay, so those are a couple of things. They could also do what is called a means-tested benefit.
Explain that.
A means-tested benefit basically says that if you make too much money, you don't get as much money back from Social Security. I always use the example in my seminars that, do you think Elon Musk needs Social Security? Obviously he doesn't, because he's wealthy enough. Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, a lot of the people that if you make $1 million, if you take Social Security away from them, it's not going to impact their lives. But if you take it away from you and I, we use for our retirement, it's going to impact us. So the government could say, if you make more than $1 million, we're going to give it to Bree, who actually needs it, and you're not going to get it. So even though they paid into the system, it's kind of like Medicare, where the more you make, the more you pay. The less you make, the less you pay. And so basically you could say, okay, Mr. Musk, we're not going to give you Social Security, we're going to do a means-tested benefit. And so a means-tested benefit is on the table. They could also raise the Social Security age. The age of Social Security started at age 65 back in the 1940s when President Roosevelt first introduced that system, okay? And so at age 65, you could get a Social Security benefit. Back in the 40s, our life expectancy was about 66 years old.
Wow.
And so the government didn't plan on Social Security being paid for 15 or 20 years. Now our life expectancy is 79. And so when they introduced it, it was 65. Our life expectancy was 66. They might have paid it for 4 or 5 years. Now they've got 15 years that they're, and some go longer than that.
Sure.
And so the Social Security system wasn't meant or built to be the primary source of income for our retirement. It was supposed to be a safety net for those that didn't make enough or whatever. And a lot of us look at people coming in and it's their main source of income coming in versus having to save enough.
My goodness.
And so you've got to, do some planning along the way. The final thing that they can do is they can, as I mentioned, they can raise the age. Right now, if you were born after 1955, it's 67 years old. They could raise that to 70 years old before you become eligible. So there's 4 or 5 things that you can do to shore up the Social Security trust fund. I don't know what they're going to do. My opinion is they'll probably do a combination of all of them.
Is that right?
That would be my opinion. That it may or may not be correct, but
is that why, in your opinion, you think that they've been reluctant to address this issue because they're still trying to work out those details?
Well, nobody wants to be a politician that cuts benefits. If you start cutting benefits, you're probably going to get voted out of office. So they're going to have to do something to shore up the Social Security
I don't know, in my opinion, and especially being here in our beautiful community, Laguna Woods Village, 65 is the new 35.
You're just getting started. Yeah, you're just getting started in retirement.
Who wants to stop working? And
Right.
It's like,
and so, like I said, back in the 40s, our life expectancy was 66. Now it's 79. And a lot of people are living into their 90s, depending upon, their health. And so, the government's going to do something, whether or not it's during this administration or the next administration. The closer it gets to 2035, they're going to have to do something.
It's going to be a pressure cooker, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they're not going to, my opinion, they're not going to cut benefits. They can say, well, we can't. Now, they might be able to cut cost of living increases, but everybody wants cost of living increases as well. So I think that they're going to probably raise the taxes, raise the limit, raise the age, and do a means tested benefit. And you do that, and I think it shores things up for, a while.
It seems like for as long as I can remember, this subject has been a focal point.
Yeah.
And it's never been completely addressed.
Well, the thing that's impacted Social Security Trust Fund is, to be honest with you, is baby boomers. There's been 80 million baby boomers retiring over the next decade.
And baby boomers were born in what decade?
Right after World War II. Everybody came home from the war, started having babies, and that's us. Me, not you, but me. I'm a baby boomer. And so what happened is you have 80 million baby boomers going from paying into Social Security to collecting Social Security. And so when they first started Social Security, there were 42 workers supporting each person on Social Security.
Wow.
Now there's 3. So for every person that's on Social Security, there's 3 people working to support that. So there's been a lot of dynamics that have changed things over the years. As we sit down with people and start doing some good income planning for them, we need to take that into account, and then we need to utilize what we can. I don't think that they're going to cut benefits, but I do think that they're going to make some changes in regards to, the age that we can get it, full retirement, a lot of things.
All right, Dan. So folks want to come see you at Sterling Financial Advisors.
Be happy to sit down with them. The first meeting is always complimentary because we're just getting to know each other. We don't even know that we can help them, but hopefully it would be something that we can sit down and do and help them.
Dan Weiler, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here.
Nice to meet you, Bree, and it's good to be here.
Thank you. Coming up next, we've got an update with the Camera Club, so stay tuned.